Welcome to the worship service of the First Unitarian Church of Hobart. I'm Carla Banks. My pronouns are she and her, and I participate in the life of the church. I'm on the board, and I like to do rummage and all kinds of fun things going on here at the church. So, we are a religious community of people with diverse beliefs and shared values. Our diverse beliefs are expressed in our 6 sources, and our shared values are expressed in our 7 principles. Both can be found online at uua.org. Together we strive to grow spiritually, build community, and live our values in the world. Do we have any announcements?
I have an announcement.
Yes.
I put a note out there about the strips being available. Yeah. I'm too short. See, I'm too short. They
You're
can't
perfect.
See it. They see this.
You're perfect.
Oh, he has something to tell you.
The microphone.
And a microphone.
In the microphone, yes.
Theater people, just want to let you know all of the scripts, there's a few scripts left that we save for people that are in need because they're for groceries and things of that sort. But the other scripts we have been bought already this morning. So thank you for your participation, for thinking of buying them, but they're not available any longer. Thank you.
Good morning. Just some announcements of upcoming things from FIA, on behalf of FIA. On April 7th, Sunday, there is the movie Repairing the World. It'll be shown at IAN. It's about the Tree of Life a tragedy in Pittsburgh, and that's April 7th, Sunday. On April 12th, Friday, right here at the church, we're showing the Origin movie. We get together at 5:30, and at 6 p.m. the movie will start. On Saturday, April 13th, there's a beach cleanup, which I hope people will join us for. It's organized by a group called Brown Faces, Green Spaces. We're partnering with them, or we're tagging along on something that they've created. And it's we're cleaning up a beach at Marquette Park. So that's Saturday, April 13th. Please see me for more information about that, where we're meeting. April 20th on Sunday, there's a Northwest Indiana Spring Forum. I'm sorry, that's April 20th, Saturday. Northwest Indiana Spring Forum, and it's a presentation at the Presbyterian Church at Valparaiso with a woman from the Potawatomi tribe, a particular band of the Potawatomi tribe. Any more information you need about those, just please see me.
There is a lot going on here, and so look at your upcoming if you haven't gotten in the habit of doing that. We try to let people know what's going on and our partnerships with other faith communities in the area. My name is Cindy Hazeman, and I'm also a member of Faith in Action Ministry. It's a twofer this morning because my husband already spoke, and now it's my turn. Today, in addition to being Easter, on this day, March 31st, is International Transgender Day of Visibility. It is celebrated to bring awareness of transgender people and their identities, as well as to recognize those that have been allies in the fight for their rights and for the dignity of transgender people. In acknowledgement of this, and on behalf of FIA, I want us all to be aware of a powerful and beautiful op-ed written last year by the Reverend Sarah Lawal from Boise, Idaho Unitarian Universalist Fellowship about why her faith, our faith, demands that she protect and affirm her trans child. In it she writes, One of the guiding principles of our faith tradition affirms the inherent worth and dignity of every person. One of the ways we live out that principle is in identifying ourselves as a welcoming congregation. In our denomination, this means we openly, unequivocally, enthusiastically welcome LGBTQ plus people, youth, and families among us, and that we have done our work to fully integrate them into our worship and congregational life. Because we believe that every person is worthy, every person is beautiful, every person belongs, every person, unquote. Given the unprecedented number of anti-trans bills in state houses around the country, over 1,000 in the last 2 years, including 21 here in Indiana, we in FIA believe it is important for First Unitarian to be seen standing in opposition to such hatred and bigotry, to be seen promoting awareness and education among ourselves, and to be seen celebrating our trans members and friends both within our beloved congregation and beyond. We believe our faith calls us to do this. One way of doing this is in celebrating and publicizing courageous acts of witness made by members of our faith, such as Reverend Sarah's op-ed piece, and others to encourage our members to stay vigilant in opposition to any proposed anti-trans legislation. In closing, to our transgendered and gender non-binary members and friends in celebration of Transgender Day of Visibility, we say that we see you and we honor you and we side with you in love, and in this beloved community, know that everybody matters. Everybody. Thank you.
When Pastor Tom is not in the pulpit, we invite a guest or a member of our congregation to speak. Today, we have our lovely Barb Langel. We are currently streaming our services online. The Joys and Sorrows portion of the service, however, is private, and we will take a break from streaming during that portion of the service. Other than that, the service will be recorded and will be available for future viewing on Facebook, YouTube, and the church website. Please let your Facebook and Twitter friends know you are attending worship with hashtag First Unitarian Hobart. Now please silence your devices, take a deep breath, and another, and join us in a spirit of reverence.
If you would, join me in lighting the chalice. Together is our power as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. Unite the beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in the celebration of the life we share together.
Our opening words are by Jeff May, gathering in our own spaces. Come, gather, not into a common space, sharing a physical closeness we long for, precluded by wise choice, but come, gather into this common time and a common space. We need to be together. We yearn for connection. We hunger for the familiar faces of friends, the sound of shared voices proclaiming who we are, where we are going, that which resonates with our hopes, dreams, and values. Come, gather. We are here in this space made of all spaces, and we share our becoming in this moment. Now, please join me and rise in body and spirit as you are able for opening hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Please join me in reading our affirmation of faith. I think we stand up, and I can't remember. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament. Service is its prayer. And this is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. You may be seated. To worship is to pay utmost attention to that which is most worth paying attention to. So, when we gather each Sunday morning, we strive to bring that level of care and attention to our being together, but our ability to do that well rests on our Unitarian Universalist covenants, the faithful promises that we make to each other and which we agree to be held accountable. We're not about being perfect. We're about showing up with our best efforts and learning together. Our covenants are inherently forgiving. And even when they are broken, even then, we still seek restoration and renewal. Stumbling is wholeheartedly welcome. So in that spirit, may we lean into the productive discomfort that makes possible all learning and growth and community. Please rise, embody your spirit to join in our recovenanting as we review 3 lines of our behavioral covenant and invite you to respond to each with, may we forgive ourselves, and each other and begin again in love. For all the ways that we have neglected to expand our spiritual growth and faith in action. May we forgive ourselves and each other and begin again in love. For all the ways that we have not committed our hearts and minds to building a community of caring, acceptance, and reconciliation. May we forgive ourselves and each other and begin again in love. For all the ways that we have not actively worked to build trust and respect in our community. May we forgive ourselves and each other and begin again in love. You may be seated. We realize that everyone cannot attend worship with us in person. We extend a special welcome to all who are joining us virtually. And thank you to our tech team for making the live streaming and recording possible. For those of us in the sanctuary, please take a moment to greet your neighbors by waving your hands and letting the warmth of your smile fill the spaces between us. Good morning. Hey. Good morning, good morning. All right, I don't think I've missed anything. This congregation expresses our deepest sorrows. You can hear me? You can hear me? Okay, thank you. This congregation expresses our deepest sorrows and our greatest joys in community. We believe that a sorrow shared is diminished and a joy shared is magnified. We pause, listening to what arises in our hearts. If anyone would like to share today, I will come to you. Please stand and share your name. Anybody?
Good morning, my name is
name is Maggie. We lift up these joys and sorrows and hold them in our hearts, including those too tender to share aloud.
Thank you, Maggie. Our story today is by Kobe Yamada. I think a little over a month ago we had the same author, and it was Sandy Service, What to Do with a Chance. And it's the same author, same director and producer, same special granddaughter that stars in it. But it's What to Do with an Idea. Hope you like it. Maybe.
What do you do with an idea? Written by Kobe Yamada. Illustrated by May Besson. What do you do with an idea? One day I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered, what do you do with an idea? At first I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I didn't know what to do with it. So I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. It followed me. I wondered what others would think. What would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away and didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same. I tried to act like everything was the same before my idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I felt better and happier when it was. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger and we became friends. I showed it to other people even though I was afraid what they would say. I was afraid if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly. And many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time. And that it would never become anything. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. Then I realized, what did they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do. It's okay if it's different and weird and a little crazy. I decided to protect it and care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it, I played with it, but most of all I gave it my attention. My idea grew and grew up, and so did my love for it. I built a new house, one with an open roof, where it could look up at the stars. A place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive, like I could do anything. It encouraged me to think big and then bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands. Because it said, It's good to have ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without them. And one day something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my very eyes. Spread its wings, took flight, and burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it. It went from being here to everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now the part of every part. And then I realized what you do with an idea. You change the world. Never ever walk away from
And now please rise for our middle hymn. I'm going to lift my sister up. It's not in any of the hymnals, but it will be on the screen. It will become very clear as we go on how to do it. Lift my sister up. I'll start it out, and you can just come on in as you get her.
Good morning. Whew. I haven't been in the pulpit in a long time. I have been up here reading things off of a script. Well, I'm kind of reading it off of something now, but it's my words and my ad-libbing, and it's kind of scary, which some of you know. First, I'd like to say, if you're a first time here or newer here, first I want to welcome you and also let you know I'm really sorry. Our minister is on sabbatical for a month, so you have me this week, but it gets better as the weeks go by. Pastor Tom likes to do series of sermons, like 5-week series. We'll keep it that way. And this 5-week series is how we connect with each other, not through our ministries or through our Sundays together, but through fun things that we like to do together. And one of them is sistering. We're hoping that you'll learn from this 5-week series, and it will spark an interest, or better yet, bring ideas of other ways to connect. In the coming weeks, you'll hear about game night from Patricia and Cheryl. You'll hear about worship circle from Jess, Craig. You'll hear about book group from Wendy, Judy, and Rose. And lastly, you'll hear from Sandy about Explorers Club. And today, I will share some things about sistering. If you don't know, sistering is on Zoom one night a month. Just us women get together and talk. It's the only one of these things that's done on Zoom. It started in May of 2020, and you know what was going on then. A lot of people think it was my idea. It wasn't. It came up from Janet French. She had a lot of wonderful ideas. She was a religious education director here when I first started, and she taught me so much. We became very good friends. And she wanted a woman's spirit circle, because we weren't getting out of the house, on Zoom, and a men's spirit circle. And she asked me if I would start the women's. And I think she talked to Jerry and Tim about starting the men's. Maybe Steve too. I think no? But they were going, I don't know. I think they did a couple weeks for the men's. I don't know what happened with that, but us women stuck with it. At first, naturally, we talked about COVID and politics. And, I mentioned that it was called Women's Spirit Circle. Well, a couple years ago, it was changed to sistering, and I stole or borrowed that from Cindy. She was talking about something, and she said sistering, and I thought, wow, that'd be better than Women's Spirit Circle, because we are sisters, and we get together and care and share. So, like I said, it started with COVID, and that's what we talked about mostly, COVID, politics, and you know who. We were all home at the time. Most of us were just going out for necessities. Then the vaccines came, and we all cheered each other on as we were able to get vaccinated. During our homebound times, we had an average of about 12 to 14 people that would attend. Now it's only about 6, but it is still fun. We share. I suppose we could have discontinued sistering since we aren't all stuck at home anymore. But like I said, we still like to share. And I have to admit, I would miss Kathleen O'Day. She started coming when we had was doing all of our services only virtually. She would come to services, and so she started coming to sistering too, and she still does. And I feel like she's one of you. I have never met her in person, but she's a special friend, and that's really why, one of the main reasons I keep sistering, because we all enjoy being with her, and we still all learn from each other and share a lot. Yeah. In Oregon. Oregon? Am I saying that right? Yeah. I think the only one that's really met her is Jeff. I think he was out there and he stopped to see her. He got to meet her in person. Hopefully she'll come here one day and we can all meet her. Okay, we've had some very special times together. We've said goodbye to members. Beth Porch was a member here of the church, and she attended sistering until she got sick. She was too tired to join us her last few months. Then one Friday, she showed up. She only stayed on for about a half hour, but it's like she had to talk to us. She had to see us that one last time. 2 days later, she died. She had cancer. We all miss her, and that's one thing sistering. I'll just love sistering that we got to see her. Laura Brooke regularly attended sistering. Even during the last months of her life, they were special memories of mine. She came most of the time right up until the end that she died, and she died of cancer too. So like I said, the special things that we had was seeing people that we won't see again, except in our dreams, and seeing people from far away that we don't get to see. And maybe some of you that have attended sistering would like to tell me about your special times, or something you thought was funny, or something you enjoyed. You don't have to get up. Maggie will bring a mic to you if any of you want to just share a little bit about sistering besides just hearing it from me. Anybody?
Me first. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit thinking about Beth and Laura. What I love about sistering is we don't have any inhibitions at all. Sometimes I think that if people overheard some of the things we say, they might say, "Huh, those Unitarian women." We have interesting discussions on diverse topics, movies, books, the weather, our health. We're all a little bit on the older side. We actually had a session not too long ago where we talked about possums. So if you want to know anything about how we feel about possums, let me know. I'll be happy to tell you. Birds are animals. Sometimes Missy joins Barb.
Every time. She has to make an appearance.
Yes. And we always love it when Carla tunes in because her laptop says William. So yeah, it's a wonderful experience. Sometimes when you're really down, when you really think that your week has really been kind of crappy, and you're thinking, I need something to lift me up. Sistering is just the thing that will do it. So that's my testimony.
I'll say it makes me think of Forrest Gump. The life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that is sistering. Sometimes you get on, it's like, oh, people are talking about their pets, right? And then another time you're on and somebody's talking about a crisis in their life or a very serious health issue they're having. So you never know what direction it's going to go. But that's part of what makes it special, I think. So, thank you.
Thank you, Carla. And Sandy?
I feel like I should expound on Kathleen O'Day as Pete's sister. Why we knew her as Kathy, But she always wanted to be called Kathleen, and her family wouldn't do it. So this was her chance to reinvent herself on Zoom as Kathleen. So that's how we know her. She lives in Oregon, and Pete grew up in Oregon, and he hasn't lived there for 40 years or more. So we have sort of a very cordial relationship, but not particularly really connected on a regular basis. So when the pandemic hit, we were worried because she was isolated in Portland by herself. And Brene Brown is one of my favorite writers. She says, we're hardwired to connect. It's an irreducible, universal need of every man, woman, and child everywhere. And not having it leads to suffering. And we were concerned because she didn't have anyone. Her church wasn't meeting virtually or in person. So she wasn't connected into a community. So we invited her to the services. And I invited her to sistering. My great gift is how close we've become in those just conversations on a Friday night, and then sometimes we'll stay on, and then Pete will have a chance to connect with his sister. So it's been a great gift to us to become closer to her. And then a lovely story of how when Jeff went out to the West Coast, he met her in person. So I feel that was a wonderful opportunity, and I can relate to it because many of us have a friend named, she was here, Jenny Peak, and she became a minister out in Idaho, and during the pandemic, she created a Thursday night group similar to Sistering, but with members of her congregation, kind of like Spirit Circle, and I started going into that because I was lonely and wanted to connect with people, and so I feel about them the way she feels about us. So it's kind of this nice moments of being able to connect that. There's a song in Unitarian Universalism called Draw the Circle Wider. And the idea of just widening and widening and widening our connections can make the world smaller in this strange way. So that's what sistering is for me.
Wow. Thank you, Cindy.
Can I say nothing about sistering because I know nothing about it, but just say thank you. I came twice before the pandemic and then stopped coming because it was the pandemic. And then I'm a serial virtual listener, so I'll just binge, and then I'm gone for a few months, and then I binge again. So I catch up on everything, and I'm following along. But I can tell my family keeps pinching me over here because every time I'm here, I just start leaking because it's so nice to know everyone's out here just doing good things.
What's your name? Kara? Yes. Kara, we're so glad to have you with us.
Thank you, Maggie, and thank you all. I have to say that it isn't mostly mature women that attend.
Yeah.
I know these women.
I think that the youngest one, well, Beth used to be the youngest one that attended, and she's the one that's not here anymore. But the youngest one that attends now, I think, is Cindy. So Cindy's a youngster. So I'm hoping that some of you younger ones will start attending and we could learn more about this New Age stuff, or start your own thing, whatever. I mean, this is about ideas, like my granddaughter said. But yes, now we mostly talk about books or movies, a little bit of politics, birds, animals. They're fun subjects. We have wondered, do they still use snow chains in the mountains? We've talked about that, you know. Some of us just, for some reason, it came up, we didn't know. And we have wondered, has anyone ever seen a baby pigeon? I have not found anybody that's ever saw a baby pigeon. You have? And once in a while, a husband will go by and we'll say hi. But we did have one special visit one time, and that was from Pete O'Day. The O'Day family has just given us a lot. He got back from Nepal, am I right? volunteer work. He's been a couple years, it's awe-inspiring, just like Maggie goes a couple years to help. Where do you go, Maggie? Yeah. I think that's just wonderful. Anyway, the first time he went, he'd been back a couple days and we hadn't seen him yet. So we asked Cindy to bring him in because we wanted to know all about it. And, he sat there for over an hour with all of our questions and answering everything we wanted to know. It was special. That was another special moment. When I first joined the congregation, I was told the best way to meet people is to join a ministry. That was from Carla. And I have. And if possible, we should all volunteer in ministries and work towards our mission. And that could be fun. But sometimes Unitarians are too serious. And we need to relate in a more relaxing way. We should connect by doing things we enjoy, just for the fun of it. In closing, I want to say that I hope more of us will gather in fun with new things, with things we're already doing, and bring your ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Barb. There's no better representative of our faith than you, in my opinion. Now is the time in our service for our offering. We give to remind ourselves of how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and friendship. We give with the faith that together we have enough. The money in the baskets goes to sustaining the mission of our community. The money in the tin cups go to a charity chosen by Faith in Action Ministry. This month, the money in the cups goes to Heart to Heart International's Ministerial Health for Gaza initiative. It is dedicated to distributing menstrual pads along with our hygiene kits to women and girls in Gaza, unquote, in the most extraordinarily difficult circumstances. Hundreds of thousands of women displaced and in terrible conditions. So before we distribute, I just want to mention that I want to congratulate our community. In January, the total raise for homeless and impoverished vets was $543.93. In February, the amount raised for Hobart Humane Society was $568.42. And last week, we had a special collection for the Hobart family that has been displaced by fire, and that just one week we raised $171.63 in the tin cups. So this congregation has been very generous in the tin cups, and this is the last day for Menstrual Health for Gaza initiative of Heart to Heart International. Please be generous in the tin cups as you can. Next month we are raising money for the Pride Fest in June, an interfaith Pride Fest in collaboration with Methodist Church. Can I have volunteers? in error, I forgot to mention that for those of us not here today, there is an online link for both one-time and regular donations. And I'd also like to say kudos to the IT team for this graphic. I think it's wonderful. This new sistering. But for your prayers, your presence, your service, and your gifts, we are truly grateful.
Now please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn number 100. The great hymnal, God be preferred.
Our closing reading is Our Lives Intersect by Tanya Marquez. It is a wonder and mystery that our paths have crossed, that in the immensity of time, in the vastness of space, we coincide here. I am in awe at the ways in which our lives intersect and intertwine, at the beauty we create when we gather. May our coming together make us more compassionate, more just, more caring, and more loving. May our hearts and minds be open to this offering. I am so glad you are here. Let us worship, let us marvel at the miracle of being here, right now, and the mystery that has brought us together.
cough drop.
Sing it, Maggie Ricola.
If you would join me in turning off the chalice. Oh, God, that's too funny. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth. The warmth of community or the fire of commitment. These prepare our hearts until we are together again. Come on, Jeremy has something special for us.